Message of the day, August 1st, 2023. The title is going to be Planted. Once again, that's Planted. The scripture is going to come from Psalms chapter 1, verses 1 through 3 of the New King James Version. And the Bible text reads, Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaves also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. Okay, let's get into the meaning of the text. The very first verse of the book of Psalms says, Blessed is the man that does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, who does not stand in the path of sinners, and who does not sit in the seat of the scornful. Just think about where we are in current times with memes and internet trolls and an ex-president with state and federal charges pending against him, more school shootings than any other country, inflation through the roof, climate change, and a host of other things that I didn't even care to even name, because we're dealing with so many different things in this current times, and it's almost like reading the book of Revelations. You kind of read your book and watch the news, and then read the book and then watch the news, and before you know it, you don't know which one is which. There's so much going on in current times. But let's get back into the meaning. The question becomes, how are we supposed to be blessed when we walk in the counsel of the ungodly every day? Which is clearly where the psalm states we should not be, and we should remove ourselves from. The reason why I ask that question is because just think about what you see every single day, whether on social media, whether on the news, whether in your family, on the job, even in the church. Just think about the things you see every single day, and how the book says, Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly. But we see people walking in the counsel, the advice of ungodly people every single day. So how are we supposed to be blessed when we're doing exactly what the scriptures telling us not to do? That's why I posed the question, because I want you guys to actually think about this for a moment and actually take it seriously. Because if the scripture's telling us to do one thing and we're doing the other, but why do we still think that we can receive the blessing when we're not doing what it takes to get it? Kind of want to put a awkward pause in there just to make you think for a moment. But let's get back into the text. Every day we see people standing in the path of sinners and sitting in the seats of the scornful. I mean, just look at social media with memes and internet trolls, and I call them keyboard gangsters, because you don't know who they are, but they feel like they need to have an opinion about your life, and they will go smack off on you on a post that you posted about God or something nice or something you on vacation. They go smack off on you because they feel like they have the authority to tell you how to live your life. I call them keyboard gangsters. But so think about where we are in current times. So that's why I just want to keep reiterating that to you, so you can think about where we stand and how the scriptures relate to where we stand in current times. However, we as Christians must not become desensitized to what we see. We must meditate on the Lord day and night, because by doing so, we become that tree that is planted by the rivers of water. When you're planted in the Lord, you will bring forth fruit in its season, and your leaves will not wither. You will bring forth the fruit in its season. So that doesn't mean you get the fruit when you want it. It's not instant gratification. You can't plant a seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. You plant a seed today, you wait for a harvest until the seed actually produces a tree, which actually produces fruit. You can't just receive it in the instant gratification type moment and receive it in that moment, because it doesn't work like that. More oftentimes than not, we want a microwave blessing when we're praying about an oven blessing. Think about putting a turkey in the microwave. How well would that go for you? when you cook a turkey, you have to put it in the oven for at least 4, 5, 8, 10, 12 hours, or depending on how long you're gonna roast it and the temperature you're gonna put it on to cook it and roast it or whatever it may be. But it takes time to roast this turkey. You cannot just put a turkey in the microwave and expect it to be done in 20 minutes. We will see you at the hospital because you contracted E. coli. But that's what this scripture is saying. It will bring forth fruit in its season, not when you want it to. It's going to happen when its season is supposed to be. But let's get back to it. And the leaves will not wither, meaning that this blessing will be one of those blessings that goes into perpetuity. It will not wither. It's not going to shrivel up. It's not going to fade away. It's not going to go away. It's going to last. The leaves will not wither. It's going to last in perpetuity. So it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going because it's planted by the rivers of the water. And we all know the living water is our God. So if you're planted in God, then you will produce fruit in your season and your leaves won't wither. You'll be blessed in perpetuity. But let's get back into it. Whatever you do will prosper, but you must be planted in him. Whatever you do will prosper, but you have to be planted in him. You cannot get it if you're not planted in God, simple and plain. And the bottom line quote that I have for you guys today is, simply put, deep roots in the Lord will produce great fruit. Once again, that's deep roots in the Lord will produce great fruit. That's all I have for you guys. Until next time, be blessed.